Hello and welcome to Junk Science. My name's Will, I'm the Ed Specialist here at MCOE, and today we're going to be doing a science experiment with stuff we just found around the house and the garage to learn about energy. I gathered materials such as a putting green, some golf putters, golf balls, PVC curved gutter, dominoes, and toys that I found just in my living room. Our learning target today is connected to the next generation science standard, HSPS3. We have two students here who will be working together in order to design, build, and refine a device that works within given constraints to convert one form of energy into another form of energy. So I'd like our first T coaches to introduce themselves. We'll start over here.
Hello, my name is Alyssa.
Hi, my name is Ray.
Thank you, coaches. And we're going to explain our Rube Goldberg device for our audience. So Alyssa, would you mind explaining the Rube Goldberg device that you created with your partner?
We first got the putting green that you just use in the house to practice, and it pops the ball back. So you hit it and you pop it back to hit the gutter PVC pipe, and it hits the dominoes, which then hits the bunnies.
Nice, okay. And so thanks for that. I love your design. I saw your drawing that you both worked on, created together, and I love how you incorporated golf into your experiment. So here were some of the guidelines that I gave to our students. Their contraption should perform at least one task. It should be stable and stand on its own. The contraption should be made using items found around their home or borrowed from a friend, and I asked them, please don't purchase anything for this project. The contraption cannot take longer than 10 minutes to set up, so I did bring a timer. And a blueprint must be drawn to turn in today before we do the experiment. So they had to indicate where the start and finish of their design would take place. So let me ask coach number 2. Ray, did you follow those guidelines?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so it seems like we're ready. Excellent. So we're going to do the experiment, and today, since obviously we're in the lab, we're going to actually go into a different area where we can swing the putter and try this experiment. So we're going to move to a different area now. Well, here we are at our golf course, which may look like a warehouse to you, but it's actually where we're going to do the experiment today. Before we demonstrate the force of energy, we need to set up our Rube Goldberg device. Here's the setup. And I'm going to have our students show us what's going to happen in this experiment. So Alyssa, can you explain what should happen?
So we're going to start with the all-star, and we're going to try and make it in the hole so that we get more points. And then there's a little contraption that bounces it back, and it's going to go through this, and the ball is going to hit the dominoes and then hit the bunnies, and the bunnies are going to race to pass the finish line.
Okay, so that, according to your drawing, which I saw earlier today, that sounds like exactly what should happen. Now, do you think that there may be some sort of problems along the way? Do you predict that anything could go wrong? So what do you think?
Basically, one, we may miss the shot, and the other one is about the contraption. If it maybe like bounce off like in a different direction. When it comes out the PVC pipe, it could go like in a different direction, probably knock down just one line of the dominoes.
Okay. And Alyssa, what is the goal? I see these two wraps here. Did you explain for us what is this little stop sign there? What do we want to do? What's the goal of the energy and transfer of energy?
The goal is of the energy of the dominoes to get the bunnies, tap them, and get them to race past the finish line to finish the energy.
So is there anything that you may have to adjust if it doesn't work the first few times that you try it?
I would say adjusting how far back we are. Usually if it's closer, it's easier to make it in the hole, or possibly the shape of the dominoes.
Okay. Anything to add to that, Ray?
I agree with that.
You agree with that? Okay. So we want to get to the experiment now, and I'm going to pass it over to you two. And how many putts did we say you're going to have each?
3.
3 putts each. Okay, so you're going to start. 3 shots for Alyssa. Now it's over to Ray.
Nice. It'll get stuck.
Ah.
Oh!
Yes!
That was okay, but it just didn't happen the way we were expecting. Maybe we need a design change. The coaches decided to make 1 line of dominoes rather than 2. Let's see what happens. Let's go with 1 row of dominoes to make it more fair for the hair.
Go, go. Oh, it only made 1 work.
Nice job. Excellent, you guys. All right. So let's take this back to the lab and let's talk about it, okay?
Yeah.
Debrief. All right. So, Alyssa and Ray, that was fantastic. Do you think that was a successful and efficient design in the transfer of energy?
I'd say our original design wasn't, but after we changed it, it was much better.
Okay, how about you, Ray?
The same thing, like it either came down to the putt or the dominoes.
Yeah. So, what did you notice when you were putting? If you made it in the hole or you didn't make it in the hole when the ball was being returned, did it always come back with the same amount of energy or momentum, or was that different each time?
I'd say it was different each time. It depended on how hard our putt went, if it got stuck a little bit in the returner, if it got stuck in the gutter thing a little bit.
Okay, good. Okay, so let me ask you about this. What type of energy transference did you witness today? What did you notice about when the ball was at the end of the putting green, and then once you gave it a good putt, what kind of change of energy happened?
I'd say it went from potential to kinetic.
Okay, Ray, do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay, so you guys had to adjust. I noticed that. I did notice that the ball got stuck in here a few times, and then your dominoes. You did a different design with your dominoes. What kind of adjustments did you make with those dominoes?
Well, after a couple times of hitting, we noticed that it was just hitting the 1. So we decided rather than having 2 lines the whole time, we'd go down to just 1 and then split it out at the end.
So do you think scientists do that? Do they have to adjust, make changes when they're doing experiments?
Of course, they do it all the time.
Yeah. So is there a certain amount of failure in science?
All the time.
All the time, right? Okay, good, both of you. So what I'm going to have you do is both go reflect on what you've learned today and write down in your science journals what you've done. And I want you to go back to your drawing, your original plan, and talk about how you made changes while doing the experiment today. Okay, I'm proud of both of you. You did a great job. Give me a high five. Okay, really good. Thanks, guys. So thanks for watching the Junk Science lesson today. This full lesson can take anywhere between a week and a month, and everything will be online for more resources. I do have a few questions for the audience if you are sharing this with your students. The first question would be, how does this classroom today look different than your traditional lab experience? What evidence can you see on how this shifts students' learning? How did I empower the first T students, the coaches, to lead their own learning by exploring before I explained anything? And would you consider teaching a life science lesson connected to this physical science lesson? And then finally, what elements of STEAM did you see in today's lesson? So again, thank you for watching our Junk Science lesson today. For more ideas and resources, please check the STEAM resource page in my blog that's on the MCOE website.